Do you think some uh, rock fans are just sort of like beats kind of frighten them when used in the context of an album by somebody like you that they think of as in a rock and roll
I,
context?
I think the it's not so much the beats in when you in regards to drum loops. I don't think it's that. I think it's more of the synth angle,
Yeah.
like the keyboard laden, a lot of synths, no aggressive guitars, even if there's aggressive vocals. Um, the I think it has a little bit to do with that, and I think it has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
I could take the same songs and do rock versions of them with no synths, and I think it would be a completely different album. It would be received completely different. Wouldn't be the album that I want to make.
Right.
I've done different remixes of different songs, and some of them more that way,
Yeah.
or performed them live more that way. Um, so it's kind of, in a way, it's the suit of clothes that the music has. Um, but I kind of wanted to be true to the concept of it. And the concept of it was to go make a Chris Cornell Timbaland record.
Yeah.
And so even when we were getting sort of near the end of making the album, the idea came up where people were suggesting, like people from the record company were suggesting, you could go in and do like a rock version of this album too, and you could have two versions going. And I smelled this. Oh, you don't know really exactly what you're gonna do with this album, do you?
Sounds like something a record company
Yeah.
might say.
You
No
got-
offense to anybody in the room.
You got maybe a little bit of cold feet because this is not going to be an easy record to take out and present, unless I was an unknown person. Then it would be pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think, because I think there's songs that speak to everyone. But I didn't. To me, that seemed. It just wasn't what I wanted. It was what I wanted is what Scream is. Since then, I've done a lot of remixes and reapproach songs. I do acoustic versions of songs from Scream.
Mhm.
It's one of those. I've got an email from somebody who was sort of joking about doing acoustic versions of it, and actually songs that seem like they would be the least likely to be acoustic and work in that vein often are the ones that are the most interesting because they're way more different than the original version.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually done that.
Did you learn anything about singing, doing this album in a different way with Timbaland?
Yeah, I did. The things that I've actually already used. Mostly it's like there's a rhythmic issue, which I'm used to this sort of what I refer to as the Sinatra approach, which is your vocal phrasing finds its home within the arrangement of the song and how the band is playing it, and that means there's a band playing it. It's a sort of moving, breathing thing. The phrasing is rushing ahead and going behind, like he would do that. He would lag behind and then blurt out like the next line that would kind of and
Right.
emotively it would somehow come across lyrically like he's telling a story, and I kind of lived in that world for a couple of reasons. One was that my first lyric writing and songwriting was usually in a room with a very loud band, and the only way I could really hear myself is singing kind of ahead or behind the downstroke and the rhythm.
Yeah.
And then the second one was just sort of what I'd been taught over the years, being fans of a lot of different R&B singers too. But now that I look at it, I see a rhythmic quality. Like if you look at a Stevie Wonder YouTube, like he's every little tiny nuances within a beat, perfectly always. So now I'm singing to drum loops, which are finite. The song never speeds up, never slows down. It is what it is. And often, like with Timbaland beats, they're not grid patterns either. He will actually play things sort of irregularly on purpose, so that it doesn't sound like a machine. And then you have to figure out what that irregularity is and be right on that. Because if you're not right on that, it doesn't work anymore. It's like the song is broken. You have to be able to completely groove right straight in with the song from beginning to end smoothly in the flow, or that type of music just doesn't work. And I had no idea